Welcome to Reality Recapped, where I recap all the trashiest reality TV. Please like and subscribe. This is a brand new channel. This is my first episode, and I could really use help making it grow. I am going to be recapping episode 1, but first, let's do a little first episode reminder.
My name is Cody Brown, and you've got to meet my family. I'm a polygamist, but we're not the polygamists you think you know. I have 3 awesome wives, Mary, Janelle, and Christine.
Did he just call Christine Christy? Man, this first footage is worse than I thought.
And I have 12 wonderful children. Well, my family's on the verge of a huge change. Because love should be multiplied, not divided. I like marriage, and I'm a repeat offender, so I have adopted a faith that embraces that lifestyle. In fact, it recommends it, and like to reward good behavior. So if you're good with one marriage, they figure you'll be good with 2. I hope they think I'll be good with 4.
Spoiler alert, you are not good with 4. You did a horrible job. And why is someone with 12 kids driving a 4-seater? Okay, and so now we're going to go into season 17, episode 1.
Things with Cody and I have been hard for a long time. Months ago, we had a conversation. I mean, he just made it very blatantly clear that he said just wasn't attracted to me anymore and we were not going to have an intimate marriage anymore. We didn't touch, we didn't hold hands, we didn't hug, nothing for a long time. So I just told him not to stay in my room anymore. I didn't want him in my space anymore.
She drops a bomb on me. She won't just stay in my room anymore. She's like, my room is a special place to me and nothing special happens there for us. I'm like, okay. You know, a lot of people have marriages that are like this, romance-free marriage.
It's lonely.
I found that she had moved all my stuff from our bedroom into the garage. Why?
Oh, Cody, you're still as clueless as ever. Do you remember this episode when his friend showed him his gun collection?
Holy cow. And I got a hold of him and he's like, well, which one's your favorite? You know, you just can't pick just one gun.
Can't.
God, I like that a lot. That's fun. You can't just own one gun. That'd be like having one wife, you know?
Hilarious. This gun stockpiling, hick-looking guy actually says something pretty profound as a polygamist.
If my wife feels jealous of my other wife, that's my fault that she feels jealous. I haven't given her something she needed.
Hey, you mind if I slip it on for size? Help yourself.
And that would tell me I needed to step it up with her.
See how he's nodding? As if he's in agreement with his friend. But in his confessional, this is what he says.
I'm of the opinion that my wives need to be responsible for their emotional state. I am not responsible for it. I can't own the whole thing. I can't deal with that. Personal accountability is something that you just have to have in plural marriage.
Right, and where is your accountability? Cody just lays on the floor and tousles his hair for his new friend. No matter what kind of relationship you're in, polygamy, monogamy, an open relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, if you're dating someone who doesn't care how they make you feel, that's a problem. That's someone to run away from. So when I saw this, I just knew these relationships for the women were probably really awful, despite how cheery everyone appears. We're going to head back to modern day now, and we start back up with Cody dealing with being kicked out.
Either way, we're not jiving and I'm out of the house. I want to talk with Robin about what's going on at Christine's house because she has a nature of understanding relationships and how to make them work.
What?
Going to the wife that you get along with and you show preferential treatment to talk about the one who is upset with you is so wrong on so many levels. And I remember Robin specifically saying that what happens in between a husband and a wife was sacred and that none of the other wives should talk about those things. Robin looks miserable. I guarantee you she is so sick of Cody being at her house all of the frickin' time. So when he tells her that he's not living there anymore and he's not going to be going there anymore, this is her reaction inside.
Hey.
Hey,
What you up to?
I'm going over to Christine's house.
You're going where?
I gotta go to Christine's house. I gotta have a conversation with her.
Okay. Everything okay?
No. She says I need to talk to you. She follows me out to my truck. She says I don't want you to stay here anymore. I didn't know what that meant. I was kind of dumbfounded. I was almost slack-jawed. Well, the other day I was in the garage getting stuff for Gabriel while Christine was out of town.
Yeah.
All my stuff is out of her room.
I'm just shocked. Like, I was just shocked.
So she's home now. I'm going to go over there and just ask her why she moved me out.
Well, so
What?
you can just stay like on the couch for a while. Maybe this is just Cody,
Why would I sleep on the couch?
because that's what you do when you don't have other houses to go to.
Yeah, but we're not monogamous, so that doesn't count.
I don't know. Sometimes you just can't sleep in the same bed with your spouse because you're struggling. Maybe she just needs a break. But he doesn't need to not be there. I mean, in fact, it should be the other way around. He should be there, present.
I don't understand anything, so I'm just going I'm going to just ask her why she moved my boxes.
As I look back on this and I analyze what she's saying, she wasn't wanting a fairness with the other wives. She was wanting more, because she was asking for stuff that I couldn't give her because I had other wives and other children to be tending to as well.
This is pretty common of what his response is whenever there's a criticism. It's she is being greedy. She wants more. Christine is the problem, not me.
Where mine and Cody's marriage started to disintegrate is actually when I was pregnant with Truly.
Should we introduce her?
Yes.
This is Truly, our little girl, soon to come.
I was overwhelmed with everything. I still had to produce some sort of income. So I was working at night, and Aspen in 5th grade was tucking the kids in bed at night, 10 years old, running the house after I'd leave for work. And I asked Cody, I said, I need your help. And he goes, I can't do that. I'm in other houses. I'm like, we live in one house. You just can't come over and tuck my kids in bed and talk to them and put them in bed? And he said, no, I just can't.
This makes me so freaking angry. I can't even tell you. So Christine is taking care of 7 kids by herself all day long, has to get a nighttime job, and Cody can't be bothered to go tuck in his own children, his own kids. And a big criticism of large families, and specifically polygamy families, is that the older kids end up becoming caretakers because there's just so many kids, there's so much to do, there's a lot of childcare that's needed. So what happens is you end up using the older kids as caretakers. It's called parentification, and it didn't just happen to Aspen.
Every day I wake up about a half hour earlier than everyone else, make breakfast. I usually don't cook for all 12 children. Mostly I just cook for my part of the family. Come on, you gotta eat. You got everything, Gabe? Top it off with oatmeal every now and then. Beats buying eggs every couple of days, which I guess we already do, but keeps the egg bill down a little bit.
The fact that a 16-year-old or 17-year-old is worried about how much the family is paying for eggs is not freaking appropriate. Nell's response just really irritates me as well.
I kind of worry about Logan because I'm worried that he's strung a little tight maybe. So he just came super responsible.
Takes responsibility very seriously.
I wonder what it would be like if you actually took responsibility. Why aren't you making breakfast, Cody? You're wandering around the house. You woke up early to say goodbye to Janelle. Why aren't you doing this? Where the hell are you? You made all these kids. Logan didn't. This is just so infuriating. So now we're going to go back to modern day, but I just wanted to give that history that parentification is part of their quote-unquote family culture. So one of the tactics that Cody uses a lot whenever Christine has some sort of criticism is he will say, "It is not me, it is you." And this is one of those instances where he's saying essentially, Christine is the problem, and the proof of that is that she doesn't just have problems with me, she has problems with everybody.
It wasn't just about me and Lehigh. You were telling me things about your sister wives that you didn't like about them and how that relationship was.
I know that I'm not the best sister wife. I'm not that close to Mary. I'm not that close to Robin. I'm super close to Janelle. I mean, I get jealous, so it's really hard to have a relationship with sister wives that are in a good marriage. It's really difficult.
I love that she can be so self-reflective and admit that, yeah, she's not perfect. She is flawed. And the problem with this strategy with people like Cody is that he will use this as leverage. See, you aren't perfect. And no one's perfect. So it's just a way of distracting the argument and making it seem like you don't have a point.
You don't get to blame me alone for how this relationship has gone for us.
Blaming you alone.
Yes.
This is so interesting to me because I don't feel like Christine is blaming Cody at all. But I think Cody's personality makes him feel like he's persecuted, right? So she's saying, I'm not blaming you, but here's what's happening and I'm not happy about it. And so at this point, I've decided to go ahead and leave because you haven't been around.
You are. You're telling me I'm never around and that I was not here before COVID.
How many days have you spent with us? Like full days before COVID?
He went hiking with us once. He's been kayaking with us twice. One time he didn't even get in the water. That's 3 times he's gone with us. 3 out of 800.
So his first strategy was to say, no, that didn't happen. That's not what it is. It's not all my fault. And then something interesting happens when she brings up examples that he can't argue with, right? He then changes and shifts into, well, I'm busy. Those things did happen, but I have all these other things that I'm doing, and I work so much. And pay attention to how he flips this and insinuates that Christine is lazy, that Christine is not doing a lot. And if she was cooking and cleaning more, maybe she wouldn't even notice he was gone. Do you see how he's twisted a very valid concern into something negative about Christine's character?
I got a lot of work to do and a lot of responsibilities. I don't get this. You don't show up here and stuff like that. It's like, what are you doing all day? It's certainly not cooking and cleaning, because then, listen, there's nothing to say here.
Why are you insisting on holding on to me? Why?
Whoa.
This isn't working, Cody. You said it wasn't working too. You said you were not
Christine,
interested
I think it's not working, but
in me. You were interested in a sexual marriage with me. You said that. You said people survive for years without having an intimate marriage. You said that.
You're
Expecting
blaming
that
me for me being turned off by your behavior.
Again, he's focusing on blame, and I don't hear her blaming him. She's saying, I need a sexual relationship, and so I'm going to leave. And he's saying, I'm like this because of what you did.
For me being turned off by your behavior.
We've been married for 25 years. I've known you for almost 30 years. Don't insult me. Tell me straight up. If you don't want to be married to me anymore, you don't want to have an intimate marriage with me anymore, flip and tell me. It is cowardly. Man the up. Come on.
Cody says often that it's a double standard in polygamy, that he can't leave, but the women can, and there's no prisoners there. But what he ends up doing is he emotionally leaves the relationship, and he's done that with Mary, but Christine's not going to take it.
If I quit, it's not going to get better. It's lonely. I'm not giving up on my relationship with Cody. Like, I live alone.
I don't understand why Mary hangs out. I don't understand what she's getting out of the relationship. I don't ever think it's going to get any better. And it's so pathetic when Robin sends Cody over with a s'more or some other ridiculous, very small, minuscule indication that, oh, the door's open for friendship, so maybe more. It's a promising option. And it's not. He's never, ever going to feel differently about her. And that's his right. He doesn't have to. But keeping her around is the cruelest thing he could do. So back to this argument that Cody and Christine are having. Cody is now shifting into the, I have a right to be here because I paid for things. I have ownership of this place and you don't have as much of a say.
This furniture, I bought this bed. This is my place too.
I know, but you don't love me.
It's so embarrassing. This conversation, just looking at it, is so embarrassing.
I really hope that Christine is hearing all of the comments, and what I've heard from a lot of people is how proud people are of her ability to stay calm, to not get baited. And many people have commented she must have done a ton of therapy to be able to be in this really difficult conversation and not get dragged into the muck that Cody is trying to drag her into.
Being married to you has been heartache.
I want to point out her use of heartache here and how Cody will take that word and use it to describe his own pain. And he's doing that because he's so focused on blame. Oh, you're hurt? I'm hurt. Way more.
That statement makes me want to scream. As if I haven't had my heart broke for years by her complaints and hatred of plural marriage. Here's the thing, Christine was great at being willing to mother Janelle's kids, okay? But she was never willing to mother or be a good mother to Robin's kids.
I am so happy this is recorded because we have video that can show this isn't factual. But I want to point out why he's saying this in particular. I think he knows that everyone values Christine for how she takes care of kids. It's something that she has confidence around. It's something that she's good at, something that she's really respected by the kids and by the other wives. And he is systematically attacking anything that gives her self-confidence. That is his goal, is to kind of shatter that. So if you're ever in an argument and someone starts to do stuff like this, starts going after things that you're valued for, positive qualities, make a little mental note of that and pay attention to that slippery sucker.
And hatred of plural marriage.
I did not hear Christine say anything about plural marriage at all.
Here's the thing, Christine was great at being willing to mother Janelle's kids, okay? But she was never willing to mother or be a good mother to Robin's kids. The reason I'm not attracted is because she's not being loyal. It feels like, because I feel betrayed.
Oh my word, I am so happy he said this, and I can't wait to show you the next clip, and I'm sure you're thinking of the same clip that I'm about to show you, and this is so infuriating. Can you see how gaslighting could be so frustrating? Because you start to feel a little bit unmoored. You start to feel like, what is reality? I thought I did offer to do that. Well, Christine, you did, and here's the clip to prove that you tried.
The reason I wanted plural marriage was because I like the idea of helping raise my sister wife's kids, and my sister wife helped me raise my kids. We haven't been able to do that here. It's just we're too busy. We're all doing these different things. We were working. It was really difficult for me when you got a babysitter, because my first thought was, why aren't we good enough? It's like, why don't you trust me with your kids? Why wouldn't you ask me first? I didn't get it.
Mindy is our niece. She has a teaching degree. She's trying to substitute teach and get a job here in Las Vegas. I've had to bring in Mindy because she helps take care of kids while we work.
When I was thinking of, don't you want a relationship with me? Don't you want a relationship with a sister wife?
Are you serious right now?
Yes, completely. It broke my heart. You're never gonna need me. Never.
I can't ask these guys to help me with kids because they work the same hours that I do, and you know, this is where Mindy comes in to help take care of the kids.
This is a win-win situation.
Wow, he's really singing a different tune now, isn't he? It was a win-win situation, and now it's completely distorted. Isn't that interesting? And isn't it so satisfying to have things on video? Because in the real world, unfortunately, you have to rely upon what you thought happened. And that is an opportunity for people like Cody to manipulate events. And again, without the video, you would kind of tend to believe him. Most people don't try to twist reality and make things that didn't occur have occurred.
The reason I'm not attracted is because she's not being loyal. It feels like, because I feel betrayed.
I feel like to Cody, Robin's more important, certainly than I am. And I've been a third wheel for years now. And I know it, and everybody knows it. I had all these criteria I had to meet in order for him to be attracted to me. Can we just say then that it's over? If I have to meet all these criteria in order for him to be attracted to me, I just can't be myself. I just can't be myself. He's just not attracted to me. I mean, I could probably count to my hand how many times he told me I was actually beautiful. And I don't think that has anything to do with my sister wives.
So you're saying now you just see it completely unsalvageable?
I think Cody feels like he has to defend the reason he isn't attracted to Christine, or he's the bad guy. So he's got to come up with all of these excuses. Sometimes you're just not attracted to people, and that's okay. But most people don't end up marrying them. And what Cody says about her changes.
True, we married under circumstances that were not romantic.
They were for me. They weren't for you.
Okay.
It was romantic for me.
I didn't know better.
Wait a second. You didn't know that you're supposed to have romantic feelings for someone that you marry? My heart sinks for Christine. This has got to be the most painful thing that has been said.
Because it's true that I wasn't attracted to you when we got married. I felt pressured into the marriage. I did not know better at the time.
This is just such a shocking thing to hear. And I don't think it needed to be said. Just stop fighting her on leaving. That's all. Just let her go.
Gosh, really? He didn't know better? So did he marry me out of an obligation? You know, our church doesn't have the whole arranged marriages, but it sounds to me that he felt like he had to marry me. That's so sad.
Kate.
You and I have intimacy and love in the relationship.
Again, he's twisting what is occurring. But Christine does a good job of clarifying.
Relationship. I'm sorry, it's conditional based upon being part of a plural family.
A couple times a year doesn't work for a marriage.
You say a couple times a year feels like an accusation.
Again, he's so focused on blame and not wanting to be at fault and self-protection that he's seeing something that I don't think Christine is doing. I don't think she's blaming him for everything. I think she's just decided this isn't for her. She doesn't want to be it anymore, and she wants to move on.
That my value as a human being is contingent upon how you feel I'm treating other people, and you don't find me attractive. I think you're looking for excuses. Why should how I treat the woman you love? That's just what it comes down to. I think he has a favorite wife, and I think he has a favorite wife, and that's why all of this is like it is. And apparently I'm not treating her well enough. So there's nothing I can do. I mean, honestly, what he's asking from me is ridiculous.
Let's just look at present, where we are.
Yeah, marriage sucks.
Do you want to be married to me? Do you want to
Christine, do you want to be married to me? Because you're the one that shot the first 2 blows here.
No, I don't want to be married to you.
I'm good with that. Nobody's a prisoner here. What does that mean now?
I need to move, Cody.
Why?
Move back to Utah, where I'm surrounded with people that want to spend time with me.
We have children together, Christine. I have to be in their lives. Just because you decided to travel during COVID doesn't mean that I shouldn't have access to them.
My goodness, I don't know why he's bringing up anything about COVID. It has nothing to do with what they're talking about, except to use this as a way of pointing out, again, Christine is the wrong one. I am the right one. I do things correctly. She does things wrong. And didn't he move Robin's kids to another state? Pretty sure that happened, and that was okay, right, Cody?
I'm like, I'm just messed up by this. She's taking Truly away now. She's going to move. You can't legally leave with her, I don't think.
It's heartbreaking being around you. It is so hard.
What? If you don't love me and you want out, so what? We got a family together still. We can make hanging out work. So she's sitting here, laying this at the feet of somebody that she's jealous of, when she's not taking any accountability for the fact that our relationship together is where the problem lies, not in some favoritism that I have for any of the other wives, Mary, Janelle, or Robin.
Favoritism in a group setting will always erode the structure of the group, whether it's kids or wives.
As a family, I don't know how to stay here in
You can
Flagstaff.
grow up and do it. You can go, you get married to somebody else, you can bring them here and they can become part of the family. You don't break up the family with what you're trying to do. And if you're a grown-up, grown-ups do that.
Name calling is also a very common tactic. If she was mature, if she was grown up, if she was responsible, she would do what he wanted.
I know that being here feels like we're not part of a family anyway. I know
Christine,
that being here
during
important.
COVID is hard on everybody. You're making a decision. Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
It is.
You haven't been around for years. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? I'm here every 3rd night or every 6th night, whichever that happens to be. Yes, I am here, and you can't say that I'm not. She hasn't been mistreated. There's no victim here. She's lost her faith, her religion, her direction, and now she is wanting out of this marriage.
I think Cody is realizing that he's losing control and she can leave, and he's spinning out a little bit because he's kind of getting desperate. He's bringing up COVID and things are different when it's not COVID, and he's expecting her to find a husband and bring him to Flagstaff to live. It's a very strange idea.
You're going on a singular memory of what has happened for the past 10 months. While I kept the rules and you broke them. That makes me look like a bad guy to my kids. I know, because guess what? My adult children are coming after me too.
He is getting really heated and a little bit dysregulated. You can see he's becoming pretty frustrated, and Christine is just staying calm and being quiet, and it's very smart of her to do that. And he keeps saying that her recollection of what happened isn't accurate. That was just because of COVID.
It's literally like she's moved on, and I'm sitting here like a dope. I feel pathetic. I'm angry, and I feel pathetic.
I think he's completely shocked that one in the first place would ever think to leave him because he's so great. He is completely taken off guard. He's used to getting his way, and this is surprising to him.
Saying plural marriage sucks because I have people I know who live it well and are happy.
I don't think the problem in their relationship is polygamy. I think it's his favoritism.
This is what I'm afraid of. You take Truly and you go to Utah, the most polygamy unfriendly state in the union. You get a boyfriend who wants some of our money. And between you, your boyfriend, and the state of Utah, I lose any access to Truly and all my money because I've seen it happen to many, many people.
This is such an insulting thing to say to somebody, that you're going to go and leave and you're going to pick someone who's terrible. You're not going to be able to find someone good, and they're just going to be greedy and after money, and you're going to come back and take advantage of me. And I know, because this happens to many, many, many people. Cody does have a right to see Truly. That is his child. She needs her father in her life. And I hope that they are able to continue a relationship. I'm pretty sure that Cody moved Robin's kids out of Utah, out of state, and away from their dad too.
Yeah, and everything Cody is saying and how he's behaving is confirming my decision. I made the right decision. He is not safe for me. Sorry, that was really, he's not safe for me. I don't think there's no doubt in my mind that I've chosen correctly here.
It is such a gift when you're breaking up with somebody and they act like total trash, because it's true, it does make it easier to walk away. So he is giving her something, a little gift that he's not even realizing. What is the worst thing someone has said during a breakup that actually made breaking up with them easier? Put it in the comment section below. I was breaking up with my boyfriend, and during the breakup he said to me, "You'll never find another guy like me." And I thought, you idiot. Yeah, I tried you and I'm throwing you back.
You're excited about getting out.
I'm heartbroken about getting out, but I can't live in that heartbroken spot.
I just saw a glint in your eye. You're excited about getting out.
I'm excited about there's a hope for a future.
I think the fact that Christine is excited about moving on really is damaging to Cody's teeny tiny little ego.
My heart has been broken enough.
So for us, plural marriage doesn't work.
For us, marriage doesn't work.
I love the correction that Christine makes, because again, it's not about polygamy. He's trying to make it about polygamy, because again, that's another thing to point to. He's not at fault.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too.
This apology kind of brings a little tear to my eye, I have to be honest. It's sweet. It's sweet that they're both hurting and they could both still be kind to one another. I hope you enjoyed the recap. Please leave comments down below. Let me know, are there other shows that you want to hear recaps on? And please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for listening. See you next week.